poem has a strict structure. It's 3 stanzas consisting of 8 lines each. And when we're coming into, it has the same rhyming pattern. First 2 stanzas focus on attitude, behavior, and actions. The last stanza focuses on the end of one's life and suggests a particular approach to deal with this inevitability. Right. When coming to this poem, one of the things we are going to touch on is the issue of the title Solitude. The title means to be in isolation, which means being alone. So now when we're talking about being alone, we are talking about human experiences. So the title means a sense of loneliness. So it's a relationship between an individual and the outside world. And now when we come in, if you laugh, sing, and rejoice, the world will be drawn to you. People will be drawn to you. But if you weep, sigh, fast, or grieve, the world will abandon you. So now when we're coming to this, we have a tension and a pull between positive and negative attitude. People react differently to positivity and negativity. This is, I believe, what we call a poem that deals with a juxtaposition of the negative and the positive. Images, opposite images are what are in the juxtaposing, my apologies. Happiness versus crying. Singing versus sighing. Rejoicing versus grieving. Celebration versus mourning. Happiness versus sadness. So that's what we are drawn to when we say there is juxtaposing in this poem that we are facing. When it comes to this poem, I believe we have a lot of synecdoche. The world in this poem does not mean physically or geographically, but it means all the people. One of the things that the poem deals with is people shy away from negativity. The world is not a happy place. It has to borrow its happiness from somewhere. So now when we're coming in, we realize that the world is a lonely place. And therefore, it means human beings must also experience the truth that they will be lonely and isolated. Universal human condition is that a person is alone in their tough times. But if one is happy and they've everything that has to do with laughter, the world will laugh with them. Happiness within oneself creates happiness in others. That's what he means. And now what he says is that sadness that is displayed through weeping and singing, that is the hills will answer. Sighing, it is lost in the air. We are saying when you are spreading your happiness, there will be a response. But if you are shouting your pain, there will be no response in the world. And I believe the other things that we are talking about is that people want to be with you in good times, but they do not want to be around you in bad times. Lots of friends are around during the good times, but you are deserted when you are alone. I believe we are also having no one is around during the sad, trying negative times, but alone you must drink life's gall, he said. And I believe that's a metaphor. So now when we're talking about many people come where there is food provided, feast and your halls are crowded, fast and the world goes by. There is nothing provided, no one is bothered, when you are fasting and alone. Alienation, you are excluded. A banquet is given, there's an image. There is food provided. Succeed and give, and it helps you live. When you are successful and share the fruits of success, it gives a purpose to life. But no man can help you die. Death is a solitary experience. No one can help you. Failure is associated with death. So as a result, pain is compared to an arrow Nile, which implies a corridor that people must move through alone as it is small and restrictive. The irony is that we are all alone in our suffering and grief, but on a very complex level, there is commonality in a sense that every person has to endure this, so we are united on that common ground. So, as such, this is the poem that we call Solitude. And I believe if you remember that it is a contradiction of emotions and experiences, juxtaposing of negative and positive, I believe it will become easier to handle. When we are coming to this poem, I believe when we're talking of tone, it does have a cynical tone, a satirical tone, and a sarcastic tone. And I believe we have a very reflective and melancholic mood. And I believe one of the intentions of the poem is to accept the positive and negative elements of human experiences. So, as such, let's go to our next poem. The morning sun is shining, olive shrine. Now, we are now in our Western poems and such. Let's get a move on. The morning sun is shining is a 16-line poem, and it's made up of 4 clear parts. And I believe she has separated the content according to the parts. That's what we must remember. And as such, if we hold it that way, as I said, it's easier to hold the poem by their parts, and therefore it becomes easier to handle. Now, when we're coming to morning sun is shining, one of the things that we are going to talk about is the issue of celebration when it comes to nature, the beauty of nature, though it will have a different connection to the personal experience itself. Right. One of the things that we are going to talk about is